The face of a father said it all. He's the father of Shanann Watts, breaking down in a Weld County courtroom as the charges were read against his son-in-law. And Denver 7's Jennifer Kovaleski was in that courtroom for that hearing.
Jen, yesterday you broke news that Chris Watts is claiming he killed his wife and that his wife killed the children, and the neighbors buying that story.
Shannon and Ann, neighbors tell me they don't believe Christopher Watts' side of the story. Now, as people continue to stop by to show their support outside the family's home in Frederick, a judge formally charged Christopher Watts this morning. An emotional hearing where Shanann Watts' father broke down.
Not only is it a slap in the face, it's killing the family.
Neighbor Mike Hendrickson could feel this father's pain as he watched Shanann Watts' father, Frank Ruzick, sobbing in court when the judge read the formal charges against Christopher Watts, his son-in-law, now accused of killing his pregnant daughter and two young granddaughters, Celeste and Bella.
Dad's a mess.
This is likely the first time Shanann's family has seen Watts since his arrest last week. Her brother also in the courtroom, trying to console Dad, but keeping his focus on Watts.
It looked like brother wanted to jump the wall.
This husband and father showed very little emotion in court, other than biting his lip when the judge read the charge for felony unlawful termination of a pregnancy. Watts only had these two words for the court, even when the judge explained he could face the death penalty.
The sentence is death. Do you understand?
What was not mentioned in court, this newly unsealed arrest affidavit. It tells Christopher Watts' story. He claims Shanann strangled their two girls, and then he killed her in a rage. He confessed to hiding the bodies at this Anadarko oil and gas site. Tuesday, we got our first look at the second crime scene.
An emotional roller coaster for the family and, of course, to the deceased.
This is where investigators say Watts buried Shanann in a shallow grave and dumped his daughter's bodies inside these mostly full oil tanks. But prosecutors and neighbors aren't buying Watts' story.
Well, I don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth.
Now, the DA says it is still way too early to talk about the death penalty. Based on what we heard in court, they now have about 63 days to make that decision. We also still don't know the name of that co-worker that was mentioned in the arrest affidavit that Watts was having an affair with. Now, he won't be in front of a judge again until November. For now, we are live in Frederick. I'm Jennifer Kovaleski for Denver 7.
And we will continue to follow this. Thank you, Jen.